Hey Tyler, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on creatine? Um, I hear people talk about it all the time. What are your thoughts on it? Is it good for you? What are the benefits? And yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Hey Jeremy, so thanks for the question. So for starters, creatine does work. I mean, lifters know this, professors know this, even the marketers that sell this stuff know this. But nobody should put anything in their body without weighing the benefits and the risks first. That goes for everything from beer and marshmallows to the amazing amino acid called creatine. It's nothing scary. Creatine, typically bought in flavor powders and mixed with liquid, increases the body's ability to produce energy rapidly. So with more energy, you can train harder, you can lift harder, and even produce faster results. It's as simple as this. If you can lift 1 or 2 more reps or lift 5 pounds heavier, your muscles will get bigger and stronger. See, researchers show that creatine is most effective in a high intensity in training and explosive activity. So this includes weight training and sports that requires, short bursts of time, such as like sprinting, football, baseball. And you see there's less indication that supports that creatine improves endurance performance as well as aerobic type exercises. But I mean, one thing is for certain, if you take creatine, you will gain weight. So for those females out there that don't want to gain weight, I would say maybe stay away from the creatine. Even if it does help add more strength and muscle, you are going to get a little bit more of a size to it as well. So because creatine is an osmotically active substance, it pulls water into your muscle cells, which will increase photosynthesis. And studies have found the muscle fibers grow when a person takes creatine. Bonus! But the catch is, this only happens if you take advantage of the boost in the energy and hit the gym. So if you're taking creatine and sitting at home, you're just going to put on water weight. So yeah, it's not worth it. A question that I get lots as a trainer is, will creatine mess with my kidneys? So researchers are constantly studying creatine for obviously effectiveness and for the safety. That's why many trainers and health experts support the use of creatine because studies indicate that creatine is actually safe. Creatine is one of the most researched sports supplements out there. See, there's no literature actually that's produced that actually suggests that it's unsafe. I mean, there might be some articles online, some Joe Blow and their dog can write, but actual literature produced, there's none that have been found that creatine is unsafe. See, there's been people who've reported, getting cramping. But see, that I think is caused because of consuming too much creatine and of certain vitamins. Like too much vitamin C can cause diarrhea, too much iron can lead to stomach problems. You know what? Too much of anything is actually bad. So if you are going to take creatine, just stick to, the recommended dosage. To be safe, only use creatine if you are healthy and you have no kidney problems. That's because kidneys excrete creatinine, which is a breakdown product of creatine. So you must ask, so there's no downside? Not so fast. If you can get big without it, then there's no reason to use creatine. I wouldn't recommend doing anything that would show minimal improvement and possible risks. Weigh the negatives and benefits before you try it. It's interesting. Will it transform me? That's a lot of questions that people ask. Well, here's one thing that all experts are agreeing on. As me as a trainer, I agree on as well. It's impossible to say because creatine has different effects on every individual. Some people just don't respond to creatine. It's like a genetic thing. Trust me, you should know in about a week. If your training volume increases, it's working for you. If not, you're probably a non-responder. Taking the powder isn't going to help you. Diet is the most important. Meat, especially red meat and beef, has high levels of creatine. So vegetarians usually see a greater response, while those whose diets are highly carnivorous may see less changes. I think I just butchered that word. It's in my head, just can't really think it. Of course, a healthy diet is the key to anybody's muscle building plan. So basically, if your diet is junk food and all this stuff, there's no point in adding creatine. It's better to eat good sources of carbohydrates and lean protein. In the end, creatine alone will not make you a bigger man. Only when combined with exercise does it improve the quality of training. You still have to do the work though. So what kind of creatine should I take? Powder powder is the way to go. You see, studies have shown that liquid creatine are unstable and they break down in your blood system. So don't bother with them. 100% pure creatine powder is what I recommend. Some companies add like electrolytes and other ingredients, but tests indicate that those pretty much have little to no improvement on performance. So save money and then buy creatine powder and mix it with fruit juice. Fruit juice? What? That's right. The sugar in the juices will actually raise your insulin levels, which helps increase creatine uptake into the muscle. So you need about 70 grams of simple sugars for every 5 grams of creatine. I suggest looking for like a drink or like a supplement with 60 grams of carbs per 100 grams of the product. And then just take your creatine with that. To ensure your body maximizes the benefits of creatine, buy the best stuff you can afford. It's your body. This isn't time to go cheap. You'll know that the powder is poor quality when it's hard to dissolve and there's residue at the bottom of your glass after you drink it. You want the powder in your muscles, not in the glass. So if this happens, try a different brand. Anyways, Jeremy, thanks for the question. Honestly, like I said, whatever you put in your body, do your own research. But it doesn't hurt to try it out. If you see huge results with it, continue to take it. If you don't see results with it, stop taking it. Like I said, some people can respond more to it, some don't. But as for health risk, there isn't really a major significant risk on it, just as long as you follow the maximum dosage. Don't overdose. Anyways, thanks.
Hey Tyler, my question for you is, what are the top 5 supplements that you recommend? Thank you.
Hey Januaria, thank you for your question. So you asked, what are the top 5 supplements that you recommend? Well, for starters, as for brands, I'm not going to come here and market and kind of take this brand, take that brand, because every brand is 99% of the product is the same. A lot of companies just put a different label on it. So there are some brands that are good quality, some brands are crappy quality. If you can buy it at Walmart, it's not a good brand. If it's something that might be more of a pricier thing, you know that you're getting a better bang for your buck. Stay away from all these like supplements that are like these fads where it's like, oh, join now and you get like 5 free samples of this, you know. Anyways, so my five top supplements. Here you go. Number 1, protein. If you don't get enough protein in your diet, well, simple, muscles aren't gonna grow. So there's a few different types of protein that I suggest. So whey protein needs to be a staple in your diet. So consume it. It's more of a slower digestive protein. Your body can utilize it a lot quicker and faster. And then there's casein protein, which is more of a slow digestive protein. Maybe take a night just before bed, or if you have working a long time throughout the day without actually having a meal in you, take some casein protein. So number 1, protein, whey and casein. Number 2, I like pre-workout. I like pre-workout because a lot of people, they'll work a really long day and they come home from work and they're, okay, it's time to go to the gym, and they're really bogged down, they're really dragging their feet. How can you get a good pump if you don't have that energy? So pre-workout just kind of gives you that extra boost, as well as there's a lot of caffeine in it. So if you have like 3 or 10 coffees in the day, then I wouldn't suggest taking pre-workout, or maybe not as much dosage, because taking too much caffeine in a day can actually be bad for you. As well as there's beta-alanine in pre-workout, so that's what gives you kind of the tingle feelings. I personally love that feeling. A lot of people don't. But yeah, pre-workout. Number 3, creatine. So I take creatine myself just because I feel like it does give me the extra strength that I need, especially in my off season. When summertime comes, I usually don't take creatine because it kind of drops the water weight a little bit, and it kind of helps me lean out and get more of that dry look in my body. Number 4, BCAAs, aka also known as your branched chain amino acids. So you have your 8 essential aminos in your body. This is just something that should be a staple. I like to take it and sip it throughout my day, like just kind of put it in a water bowl and just sip it throughout the day. It just gives you kind of that long lasting energy. Some people will even sip it while they're even doing the workout, like during the workout. And then supplement number 4, glutamine. I like glutamine because I'm hitting the gym 5, 6, even 7 times a week. Some days I'm not taking a rest day. So what glutamine does, I'm not going to really go much into the science behind it right now just because we'll be here for like an hour. But glutamine basically helps repair the muscle a little bit faster. So if let's say you hit, arm day yesterday, and today your arms are still sore, and tomorrow your arms are still sore, well, it might be a while till you can hit arms again. But if you take glutamine, you're actually able to hit your arms more often without being so sore, and the muscle will recover a little bit faster. Last but not least, I would say this is not necessarily more of a supplement. This is more of just kind of every diet person should have this. But vitamins, multivitamins, as well as omega-3 fish oil pills. I suggest, because nowadays there's a lot of food, even the ones that say they're organic or processed healthy, a lot of them still has been, either manufactured or it's been so far down the process line that it has lost a lot of the nutrients and vitamins that we need. We have your macros, but then you have your micros. And that's why I hate when people do this, if it fits your macros trend, because you're right, but chocolate might not have all the micros you need. It might fit your macros, but does it fit your micros? So take a multivitamin, because that way you're hitting your recommended daily dosage of your vitamins. And the fish oil does a good things. It's good for your joints, but as well as it's good for that brain power. I mean, finding that mind-muscle connection in the gym, it's more than just having the energy, but it's also having the mind in the right place, in a sense of knowing what exercises to do, and that the moment when you feel like you're in overtime and you want to quit, and you just got to keep on pushing through. So those are my 5 supplements that I take and that I would recommend to other people. I mean, there are so many supplements out there. It's one of those things where some supplements will work for some and some will work for others. Try it out. It's all trial and error, but make sure you read the labels. Make sure you know what's in the product. Make sure you're taking the right dosage. And a lot of the time, if you have any medical history or medical conditions, consult your doctor before taking things. I with Tyler Frederick and my fitness, I truly believe that you should be living a healthy lifestyle as well. So anyways, love you guys. Thanks for all the questions. Over and out.
Hey Tyler, I was just wondering, for girls who have a bigger butt or bigger thighs, I was just wondering what kind of exercises you can do to tone them down so that they're not so big.
Hey Jessica, thank you for your question. So actually a lot of females have this issue, and I think the biggest area is in the thighs. There's a lot of athletic women out there who go running and biking and stuff, and they get to a point where they just got too muscular big of legs, and that they want them reduced. There actually is a few ways you can actually reduce or shrink muscle. Obviously, A is to stop working out that muscle, and over time the muscle will get smaller, but that's not really a healthful approach. Obviously, intake less calories, less protein, but that's also not a helpful approach. Let's go more on a training aspect of how to actually shrink a muscle. So in your muscle, you got slow twitch fibers and your fast twitch fibers. So your fast twitch fibers is going to make up about 80% of the size in that muscle. You look at sprinters in the Olympics, 100-meter sprinters, they're ripped and they're huge, got big muscles. And then you look at long distance sprinters, 5K, 10K people, and they are just skin and bones. And it's because they got more of a slow twitch muscle fibers, has more of that endurance. So do more endurance training on the muscle. As well as you need to know that when you work out muscle, the heavier you lift, the stronger you get. Essentially, a stronger muscle is going to be a bigger muscle. So squatting your 1 rep max is not going to help to shrink those legs. What I used to do with my clients that wanted to shrink their legs is I would do high reps, high volume, to the point where they were doing 2 sets of 80 reps. So if you want to get, let's say, smaller quads, okay, do your first set of 80 reps. Obviously, you're going to have to pick a lighter weight because you want to be able to finish the 80 reps without resting. And then take about a 2 to 3 minute rest just to let that lactic acid build up to kind of dissipate. And then do it again, 80 reps. When you do that high volume, you're actually going to be, you're building the endurance in the legs. So your slow twitch fibers are going to be worked more. And you're not lifting heavy, which is not going to allow the fibers in your body, like your fast twitch fibers, to actually build back stronger. And so it's not going to become bigger. So you get to a point where you do so many high reps that you're actually going to get the little micro tears in your muscles so much that it's going to be hard for your muscles to repair it back bigger. And so that's just kind of a style of training that you can do to actually shrink the leg. I wouldn't recommend you doing it all the time, and take your appropriate rest time outside of workouts, because if you break down the muscle too much and it's not able to build back up, you're going to injure yourself, you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to, atrophy is going to set in. So let's say you want, smaller biceps, right? Do high volume, higher than normal, and try that for a little bit, and hopefully that works out. I know it will. Love you guys. Thanks for all the questions. Over and out.